Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Meta Watch video. Today's the 11th of September, so we'll be covering last weekend. So we're looking at the stats gathered by Gomo and his colleagues on Old World Rankings, which is a very good website. I suggest you go over and check it out and give them some cash if you can afford, because it's a really useful resource. So yeah, but let's have a look. So in terms of individuals, when I get rid of this drop down, that goes faction by faction. In terms of individuals, last week, where's he gone? Luna is down in 11th. Where on earth is he? Pash, he's down 16th. I think he was second last week. That's interesting. He's moved quite a lot. Phil Carl, Stephen. Oh, my mouse doesn't seem to want to work right now, which is fantastic. I don't know why. I've done nothing to it. There's nothing on the pad I'm using. It's just decided it doesn't want to work. Great. Nor does the wheel. Right. So we've got Phil Carl, who's still top. Stephen Toll, John Dale. He's come up 2 places over the week, and Jack Allen has been pushed down. Let's try. Oh, somebody must have spilt something on my pad, and it's sort of blocking the. I mean, I'm afraid the desktop's not much better either. No. What is going on? Bloody thing. Right. Oh no, I don't want to do that, do I? That's not what that button's. Oh, hold on a minute. I bet one of my buttons is. Let's try that. Why is this? How weird! It's got a Lithuanian keyboard on. I mean, I do write some messages in Lithuanian, so it could be that. Right. Anyway, so Phil Carl is top. Still nobody knocking him off, and he's still like 100 points clear of everybody else. Do you know what? I'm going to try pulling the mouse out and putting it back in again. See if that works. No. Oh, no. What the flipping Nora? God damn you. Right. Why does this always happen? Like, it's been absolutely fine until I press record. Bloody thing. Honestly. Technology, huh? Right. Oh, now tab doesn't work because it doesn't get onto the side menu. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Right, come on. Latest results. Oh, this is pathetic. Why does my tech never do what I want it to? Right, so last weekend will have been it's the 11th and it's Thursday, so it will have been the 6th and 7th, and possibly 8th. So in the United States, oh, this mouse is really annoying me. In the United States, we have DDR present. Yeah, space is now working properly. Something's wrong with my computer. It's decided it doesn't want to listen to any inputs properly. Yeah, space is now working. Previously, it was asking me what keyboard I want. I'm like, that's not the short key. I don't know what's going on. Right, and literally, this mouse is actually quite new. I only got it like about a month ago. I tend to go through them, but anyway. So we've got DDR presents the Old World Rank and File, which this is in the States, which was won by Tyler Anderson with Beastmen Brayherds. We've got Grand Cathay coming in second over there. Oh, we've got a little bit more movement now. And High Elf Realms coming in third. Hugh Blewett, he turns up at quite a few tournaments. But we don't have lists because these icons are yellow, which means no list. Black means list. Smite Club Old World, no results in from there yet. Match play at OFCC, Roger Allcroft, no list, annoyingly. Managed to win that one with Dark Elves. It's 2 games seem to have been completed, so I don't know whether the final result hasn't been uploaded yet or whatever. But it's nice to see Dark Elves on top. Warhammer the Old World RTT Circuit. Michael Brain, Jimmy Livers and Gavin Peacock taking out the top 3 there. Well done to them. Warhammer the Old World at Dragon's Lair Houston. Here we go. We've got a list finally. Monterey Bay Malay, an Old World RTT event. Roland Curtis managed to win that with Orc and Goblin Tribes. What does he have in his army? Well, last time somebody gave me feedback telling me to read through the army list and don't skip it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we've got a Black Orc War Boss with a great weapon, who's a general on a wyvern, trollhide trousers, talisman of protection. This is a pretty standard build. I think this is probably the best character in the game for value for money, or value for points, because it's like, as you can see, it's 340 points, but it's toughness 6. It's got 8 wounds, 9 wounds, 8, probably 8 wounds, but then it's got a great weapon, so like 5 attacks at strength 7 AP 2, coming from the general, who also has the choppers rule, which means that they've got modifiers to wound. Is it they get to reroll ones to wound or +1 to wound or something when they're charging, which is, you know, applies to all their weapons for orcs. Orcs are the only ones that seem to have like a universal weapon rule that applies to every single weapon every greenskin has. It's a flying monster with like fly 10 or 11 or 12 or something. The Trollhide Trousers give it +1 to its save, and it comes with a full plate. So you've got a 3-up. Talisman of Protection gives you a 5-up ward. Trollhide gives you 5-up regen. So you've got a 3-up, 5-up, 5-up, which is maximum save, really. Not quite, because you can get 4-up wards. But anyway, it's almost the maximum save possible. Toughness 6, loads of wounds. Really nasty. Every other faction pays about 500 points for that, but Orcs, no, 340. So really good value for money. I don't know why any greenskin player doesn't include at least one of these. Personally, I'd probably have 2 if I could. You know, maybe 1 Black Orc and a couple of Orc War Bosses on Wyverns. With Trollhide Trousers are extremely common as well, and there are other 5-up wards you can dish out as well within the greenskins. I think they've got some options there. So, you know, you can easily fill 1,000 points with 3 bloody Wyverns, which is horrible. They're so cheap. Then he's got a Night Goblin Big Boss with a giant cave squig and the Ruby Ring of Ruin, which is what's going on here with the units. He's got some squig hopper mobs. They're going to have to be on their own, because you can't put a Night Goblin character. Does the Night Goblin Big Boss, is he on the giant cave squig, or is it a companion? I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think you can put a Night Goblin boss on a squig. I think it's just a companion, but rather than a mount. But I'm happy to be proven wrong on that. Night Goblin Big Boss again with a BSB and Walloper's One Hit Wonder. Walloper's One Hit Wonder like makes your character like, I can't remember the exact stats, but it's something like Strength 10, AP 2, something like that. But you can only use it once per game. And it might even have Strike First, I can't remember. But it makes your character really, really good for 1 turn, but not massively OP. Like, it's not a, you know, 1 turn of combat, this will kill a dragon. I mean, it won't. But it does make your character significantly better for a single turn. Then you got an Orc Weird Knob who's got Battle Magic and a Lore Familiar, and he's level 3. I guess he wants Battle Magic and a Lore Familiar because he wants the spell that allows you to move again at the end of the move phase, which is really, really useful, because obviously you can march with both moves. It doesn't say, you know, it's not one of those, it's not like reserve move. It's, you know, at the end of the move phase you can move again. In the remaining moves, I think, is it remaining moves you can move again? I can't remember. Something like that. But that's a really good spell and would be super, super useful for this army. I personally would rather go with the greenskin lore, because I think it's really good and it's got some spells that are super useful for helping out greenskins. But again, he's got a lot of infantry here, so I could understand what he's doing there. He's got a couple of Doom Diver catapults, which are like probably the best catapults in the game. They're very, very effective. In fact, they are the best catapults in the game, because essentially the Doom Diver gets to correct the land where the stone lands by d3 inches every turn, which means even if you scatter, like for instance you roll a 2, you can wipe that out and actually hit instead if you scatter by a 3. But also, like if you scatter by 6, if you scatter by 10, then you can move another 3 in another direction and probably hit something. So they're pretty reliable in terms of actually hitting things. So they're well worth the points. You've got Orc Boar Boy mob there with big uns. They're going to hit pretty hard. I forget what the Banner of Butchery does. Is it +1 reroll wound rolls on charge, or +1 strength on charge, or something? It's something like that. It makes them better at charging, basically, which is exactly what you want because they're, boar boys. They're cavalry. They're going to get a charge off. He's then got a couple of units of Night Goblins, and he's got a relatively large unit of Black Orcs, all with great weapons and shields. I mean, you don't have to do that with Black Orcs because they've got motley crew, so you can have some armed with shields and some armed with great weapons. Whether you do or not depends on how you review the rule motley crew in conjunction with stepping forwards when casualties. So, you could say that the guy with the shield, if he steps forwards and the bloke in front had a great weapon, he's going to drop his shield and hand weapon. Well, he's going to drop his shield and pick up the great weapon and therefore be armed with a great weapon and a hand weapon. You could sort of take that, and that would work for me thematically. It would make sense for a combined arms unit to operate in such a fashion. You'd expect that kind of behaviour. So I wouldn't say that's against the spirit of the rules, certainly not. I'm not sure it's against the letter of the rules either, but you are supposed to move the code. So, but then again, what I'm thinking is if you have like a front rank, so for instance, if you had 24, you had 6 in the front rank with shields, you have 6 in the second rank with great weapons, and then every rank after that is shields. If you do get charged in the front, because of the new infantry rules, your fighting rank includes the first 2. So the second rank always get to swing with their great weapons. And actually, it's really difficult to kill them because you basically kill stuff in the front rank first, and they've got shields, which are quite nice. And then you've got a load of shields at the back that essentially protect you against shooting. So I think that as a formation might work within the current rule set, but it's not clear, and some people might see that as gaming the system a little bit. But again, if anybody knows, comment down below. If anybody's actually seen a clarification of that in particular, let me know. I haven't, but I'm not a god. I'm just a doctor of sociology, which is oh damn it, that's not the joke, is it? The joke is I'm just a social scientist and therefore not one. That's the joke, but I cocked it up. Well done me. Right. He's then got 6 fanatics across 2 units of Night Goblins, which are roughly the same size. Only 1 unit of Night Goblins has netters, though, which is interesting. Netters basically allow you to, at the start of the fight, when this unit's combat is selected during the fight phase, you roll a dice, and on a 2 or more, your opponent rolls -1 to wound. However, if you roll a 1, then it's you that rolls with -1 to wound. So netters can backfire. Most of the time, they basically just give you goblins. The attacking unit is at -1 strength. Sorry, and if you roll 1, then you're at -1 strength. So most of the time that effectively gives Night Goblins basically toughness 4, which is insane considering the numbers and the price. So netters are very, very much worthwhile. I'd be really interested to know why he didn't go for, why Roland didn't give the other unit netters. Because he probably could have done that with a slight adjustment to numbers. But anyway, well done, Roland. That's a pretty standard greenskin list, and he's managed to take out a tournament with it, which is really good. Well done to Ivan and John as well for rounding out the top 3. No lists there. Dice Head Old World Escalation End Event, 2,000 points. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Josh managed to win it with some Beastie Boys. Parker Brown with another set of Beastie Boys. No lists, though, sadly. And Corey Page came in 3rd with Warriors of Chaos, so well done to those 3. Badger Baggage Bonanza, that was in August, so I covered that last week. So get that video if you want to see what I said about that. Right, let's have a look at Australia. Was there anything last weekend? There seems to have been a few tournaments. This is a series, and this is monthly, so these results will be coming in much later, and that was last week. So I don't expect that there's going to be much. I know it says upcoming. It is latest results. He's just not updated that text there. 7th September Slugfest. So in Canada, we've had a couple of tournaments. That's nice to see, isn't it? There's one where I think just 2 people turned up, and then we've got second. Oh, it's a doubles event. Oh, that's fine. I thought just 2 people turned up and nobody won. That's a very sort of Games Workshop style thing, isn't it? Yeah, tournament results. Nobody wins. We start at second. Why? Just because. Right, September Slugfest. Again, no list here, unfortunately. But Connor Brighton managed to win with Empire. I'd love to have seen that list. Hold on a minute. Let's see if it is actually on Best Coast pairings. Because sometimes it's just that it doesn't pull the lists in. There are lists here. Right, okay. Let's have a look at Connor. Connor with Empire of Man. Again, there was somebody who wanted me to look at a tournament, and I can't. Oh, for God's sakes! And I can't, for the life of me, find the message or the tournament. There's nothing that rings. So whoever it is, if you are listening, please do let me know, because I do want to. If people ask me to cover something, I'm going to cover something. But I literally can't find it, and I can't find the bloody message in my YouTube community tab thing, because they've changed how you bloody find messages, and it's anyway, whatever. So this is the list that won September Slugfest. Connor Brighton with Empire Man. He has a General of the Empire, 358 points, so he's got it on a Griffin. Imperial Griffin, I think, is the one with 2 heads, because I think you can just have like is it just called a Griffin or a War Griffin or something? I can't remember, but something like that. And yeah. Then we've got Laurels of Victory. White Cloak gives you a ward against a ward save and a better ward against flaming, I believe. Giant Blade is like the standard, semi-decent sword. It adds a bit, but not a lot. It's got multiple wounds, 2, and strength +1 and AP 1, so it's okay, but it's not the best. And Laurels of Victory, I think for each wound that this model causes in combat, you get 2 for combat res rather than 1. So this general's, again, 358 points, quite cheap. It's going to be toughness 6. It's going to have, 6, 8, probably 8, 9 wounds. It's got a 3-up save, 5 at ward. It gets double. So actually, with Giant Blade and Laurels of Victory for each wound, now Giant Blade can do 2. So basically, if this goes into like a multi-wound unit and it does 2 wounds, it's got 4 wounds for victory point purposes. So actually, that's quite a clever pick, actually. There's a few layers going on there. You've then got a Master Mage, level 1 wizard with Demonology. Not sure why that's there, but it is. I guess the signature spell from Demonology is pretty decent. It's 2d6 strength 4 AP 1. Not flaming. It's not fireball. Doesn't have the AP, but does have flaming. It depends on your opponent, really, doesn't it? Whether the flaming's good or not. I, in general, prefer 1 AP. So presumably that's why that's there, to just deliver that spell. And actually, you only need a few successful casts before you got your points back. So 60 points spare, it's probably worth it. You got a Captain of the Empire with the Griffin Standard. The Griffin Standard gives the unit double their rank bonus. So this is going to go in a big unit of troops. It's not going to go in a big unit of troops because his biggest unit is 30, which I think is a bit small. You can put it in a 6x5, but that just means if you put it in a 6x, or actually if you have 5, if you go 5, no, that won't work. You've got to go 6 wide, 5 deep, haven't you? That's probably the play. Or 8 wide and 4 deep. I think you could probably get away with that. But if you go 8 wide and 4 deep, you've lost a rank when you lose like 4 or 5, because presumably the BSB goes in there, so that's 31. Maybe the Master Mage also goes in there for 32, so that's why I was thinking 8x4. But if you go 8x4, then you only need to lose. You're going to have 8 in the final rank. You only need to lose 4, which is basically 1 round of shooting, before you lose that final rank bonus. So you're probably going to go 6x5, which makes you a bit less effective. Personally, if I was going to go down the Griffin standard route, I'd want hand weapons and shields to give you the extra defense. Really, I'm not sure that halberds are really going to add very much, because the vast majority of the time your troops are going to be dead, so their damage output is nil. A dead thing cannot strike, so nothing reduces opponents' damage more than them being dead. So we've got some archers, which are great for getting in the way. Another unit of archers just for smattering around the tabletop and doing interesting stuff. We've then got some Empire Knights with a war banner for a bit of extra. I mean, typically with like these core tax units of knights, I don't tend to take commands because I don't really see the value. But he has gone for drilled, and he has made them quite elite here. They're up to, on average 27 points each. So that's pretty pricey. So he probably does want a full command here, given this selection. He's only got a couple of great cannons. I mean, you could afford another. I'd probably want to afford another, especially as he's only got a steam tank. So essentially you've got an engineer looking after 2 cannons. An engineer can quite happily look after 3 war machines. So you probably want a Hellblaster as well. But, who am I to tell this dude what to do? He's just won a tournament with this. He's then got some Demigriff Knights, which are great. You just don't want too many of them, because they just kind of get in each other's way. And then he's got a few Outriders to basically be like a mobile block of handgunners. So that's pretty decent. It's a very good list. It's a bit of an all-rounder. There's lots of stuff going on there. So I'm not surprised he's done quite well, because he's given himself plenty of flexibility. That's 500 points, but well done to those chaps for winning that. Winning any tournament is difficult. So that's Canada. Quite a lot went off in Canada this weekend, and now my mouse has decided it doesn't want to work again. It's a good job I'm going to do rugby training after recording this video, because I'm getting really mad. Right. So hopefully we're doing contact. Oh my god. Right. I'm also swinging by Asda on the way home to get a new mouse. Finland. Oh, bloody hell, it's sodding. Right. I'm really getting into Skaven, so I keep accidentally doing like a little mini, nearly Skaven laugh thing. I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to like chart me building my Skaven army. I'm going to be using all like Age of Sigmar stuff, and like I have with these little rattling guns here. So I'm going to take you through the journey of building an army list. I'm going to build it up to about 1,000 points, then have a game at my local centre, and then report back on that, and then build out the other 1,000 and probably tweak stuff, have a 2K game, and then, take it from there. And if Dave or somebody else is up for it, then I might do another battle report for the channel, but probably not. I don't like playing under cameras, really. I've done it a few times, and it's just, I don't know. I've tried recording more, but the game's not as fun because you're focusing on the recording rather than actually having fun. And like everybody who plays Warhammer on all these channels where they do battle reports, that's not how normal people play Warhammer. The problem is, if you record it how normal people play Warhammer, it's boring because nobody's explaining what's going on. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. What I'd like to do is like have like 2 people playing Warhammer against each other. And then I act as like an adjudicator and do a running commentary as people are playing, just to explain what's going on. And I think that would work better, because then you see 2 like normal people playing a normal game, and then you'd have like a little bit of a voiceover to explain what's going on. But I think that would work quite well. But it's just it's all time, isn't it? Work's really busy at the moment, right? Which is good, because it means not money now. I'm in financial services. When you're busy, you don't get money now. You get money in 3 months. That's roughly how it works. So in 3 months' time, I shall have enough money to finish off my Skaven. For now, I'm having to do it on the cheap, which means trying to find bloody Giselles for less than £10 a model, which is, you can get them for about a £5 a model, but it's still annoying. Anyway, right. So that was at the end of August. So we've covered that. Did we? Solo don't hayas. Maybe the lists are here when they weren't before. I'm not sure I covered that one. Lord General Ogreblade, Exalted Sorcerer, level 2, 8 Marauder. No, we did cover that one. 2 Gigantic Spawns. Yeah. I remember that list. Right, so congratulations to them anyway. Right, nothing, no results from Germany at all. Very weird. Very weird. Come on, Germany. Nothing from Italy yet. I'm not sure that's correct. I might have to have a word with Gomo because I don't think that's correct. I'm pretty sure I've seen results from Italy and Germany before. Right, Japan. That was the first tournament in Japan. Well done to those, but that was a few weeks ago. We have this last weekend Orion's Wild Hunt winning a tournament. This mouse is very, very irritating. Right, winning a tournament actually with 28 players, so it's a pretty decent sized tournament for Orion's Wild Hunt to win. Yes, it was in the Netherlands, which hasn't seen much tournament action. Again, I think there's more than that, but anyway, let's have a look at this because this should be really interesting. So, and actually, let's go to Old World. Oh, for God's sakes, Old World Builder, and let's try to build it out. Now, when I had a look at these boys, I like building Wood Elf lists. I'm just not happy with them yet, so I don't want to buy it yet. So, we're going Orion's Wild Hunt. Boom! There we go. Right, so what he's got is he's got a Glade Captain, Great Weapon, True Flight Arrows, Talismanic Tattoos, Shield, Aspect of the Bear, Great Stag, and Crown of Antlers. Now, Crown of Antlers gives you impact hits. Not very good impact hits, but it gives you impact hits. Aspect of the Bear, so Talismanic Tattoos gives you a 6-up ward save, but you're not allowed to have armour. You're only allowed light armour anyway, but you're not allowed armour if you take tattoos. You can have a shield, though. It doesn't stop you from doing that. So he's got a great weapon. He's got a shield, which gives him a 6-up save in shooting. Aspect of the Bear. Oh, my God. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry that my mouse is being rubbish, but I need to record this quick because this is literally the only time I'm going to have this week. So apologies. You're just going to have to put up with me being a bit of an arse. And also in a bit of an arse for a bit because this is, as you can imagine, very, 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 very rage-inducing. Right. Strength and toughness by 1. I thought it was that one, but I didn't want to guess. I don't know why, because I'm normally happy with guessing and being wrong, but for that instance, I decided not to be. Right, so he's got another Glade Lord, also with Aspect of the Bear. So they're going to be like Strength 5, Toughness 4. The other one's got Arcane Bodkins. He's on a Warhawk. He's got an Annoyance of Netlings, which is basically -1 to hit in combat. I think it's actually -1 to hit in challenges, but you're pretty much always in challenges with him. He's got a Talisman of Protection, Armour of Meteoric Iron, which is the 5-up one that you can't... I say that. Actually, is it? It's... Oh, God's sakes. This fucking mouse. Sorry, I'm not supposed to swear in these videos. I'm trying not to, because I know that... believe it or not, from my YouTube metrics, there are some younger people who watch, and I just don't want to offend anybody unnecessarily. Like it's just, it's pointless, isn't it? Although, swearing is important sometimes. Like it conveys, swear words I think convey way more emotion than normal words do. But so I think if you don't swear, you're kind of limiting your choices as to how much emotion you convey. But what was I looking for? I was looking for... Oh, this is another problem. I get easily distracted, and so by the time the mouse has decided it wants to work to... Why is it behaving like this? I think there's something messing with my... because it's a Bluetooth mouse. I've actually gone back to a wired keyboard because I was having issues with the Bluetooth, I think. And now actually I've bought like a little... I don't know whether you can see it, but I've bought a bloody, a proper... You can't see it because it won't stretch. But I bought like a proper, 6-pin Bluetooth hub thing because I was having issues. So I thought, well, I'll get a better, a better thing. But that's not working either. Right. What was the... Oh, Armour of Meteoric Iron. That was it. Control tab? Yes. That one. Right, please. Oh, you mother hubbard. You absolute You absolute. Oh God! Right, abandoning that. I'm abandoning that. I'm not sure. Oh, hold on. Oh no, not Control Tab, not Alt Tab, idiot. No. Right. This is so bad. I think I might just have to go on the meta and cover the list later because this is winding me up. It's 1,500 points. I'm just. This is really starting to irritate me. I say, oh, for God's sakes! Oh my God! Oh, actually, I'm very close to abandoning this video right now, so I'm really sorry if you're bored and it's not going very well, because my freaking mouse bashing it doesn't seem to want to work either. It's definitely on because I can see the bloody lights. No, it's just not picking up the bloody any movements. Like it doesn't. Oh, hold on. Okay, so it seems to be okay on my cuff. What is going on? Right. Anyway, yes, that's 1,500. Orion's Wild Hunt. I really did want to check out that list. Right, so we got the Armour of Meteoric Iron. We got a Shadow Dancer with Illusion and the Spear of Lurk. Spear of Lurk is like, I think, oh, is that the one that always hits on a 3-up and it's basically a lance but not? It's got some Glade Riders, some Wild Riders, Sisters of the Thorn, some War Dancers. Great. I mean, I'm not sure what's so good about that list, to be honest. I'm not sure how that won. So, you know, if anybody who went to this one, Arvid, I think Arvid might listen sometimes. If somebody can give me an idea of how that played, that'd be really interesting because, you know, I really do like Wood Elves and I really would like to have a Wood Elf army. I just don't know. I can't see how to make them effective. Like, you know, sometimes when you're looking at factions and you're like, sometimes you can like figure, well, actually, I quite like to collect and paint and play that list. I know it's not going to be like really, really effective. Sorry, I just seen somebody walk past and they appeared to have what were like gothy clogs, but then they'd put like little, you know, those little conical party hats. They'd put those on their toes, and they were like clogs, like what's the famous clogs that everybody wears that I can't remember the name of? Weird. Right, we've got lists for the Dunedain. Despite it being on Excel, which is interesting. They weren't. I don't think we had lists last time, so I think these have been added recently. So let's have a look at this. So well done, Gomo, for getting them. So he's got. I'm just going to look through. I've gone through so many of these lists that is there anything weird in here? Mounted Yeomen you don't always see. They're slightly unusual. So basically how every single Bretonnian list looks is it's got a big unit of Pegasus Knights. Used to be like 2 units of Pegasus Knights because Pegasus Knights used to be so broken that on their own they were amazing. Now you have to put characters in them, but they're still broken and amazing. And the main reason for that is you have Virtue of the Impetuous Knight on a battle standard bear. No, he's on foot. Huh. That's weird. And you've got a Baron with a Virtue of Heroism also on foot. Huh. We've got a big... So we've got 30 knights that... So normally what you do is you put a Paladin who's your BSB or like a secondary Baron or something on a Pegasus, give it Virtue of the Impetuous Knight. That gives you plus D3 to your charge range and distance. So you charge your max reach and your charge range, right? So you go from a Pegasus Knight, which is like fly 11. I'm not gonna spend time checking. Oh, hold on, I've got a phone, haven't I? That's quicker. This is so awful. Whatever. Right, Akitani. That's my little list. So you have Pegasus Knights who are fly 10. Okay, so they're fly 10. You give them plus D3 to that, so that's 13, 9. So they've got a threat range of 22 potentially, which is pretty bad. You then put your Duke in there, who in this case has Virtue and Knightly Temper and the Ogre Blade. The other thing to do is take a Duke with the virtue of Heroism. Heroism basically gives you... You're not allowed a magic weapon. Well, you are, but you're wasting the points on Heroism then. But Heroism gives you Killing Blow and Monster Slayer, so old heroic Killing Blow. Sort of. And you then give it a Lance or a Great Weapon or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You're aiming for 6s. He's got 5 attacks, so he's got a reasonable chance of getting it. You then give him like a luck stone or something that makes hitting more reliable. So like when you charge into that dragon, like for instance Miao Ying, who has no protection against Monster Slayer, you can probably get 4, maybe even 5 hits, and then you roll a 6, and then she's dead, instantly dead. Bye. Apart from the fact she's not, because you would turn back into a mortal with D3 wounds. But any other dragon, is probably dead. 5 up wards are super important for monsters. Regen not important for monsters. Wards 100% important for monsters that you want to survive. So yeah, that's normally what you do. But he's put the Virtue of the Impetuous Knight on the Knights of the Realm of Foot. Oh, the mouse is sort of slightly working now. Oh, hold on. It is just working now. What the... I don't understand. Like, I know when it rains around here, it can muck with my Wi-Fi, but this is Bluetooth. It's got nothing to do with what. Weird. And the only reason it mucks with the Wi-Fi is because we know that the junction box down the road gets a little bit flooded and it starts shorting when it rains and the rain gets into it and shorts some of the wires, and OpenReach refuse to fix it because they don't think there's a problem. We've never been able to replicate it. It's like, well, just go and look in the box when it's raining. Like you can see, or just after it's raining, you can see the water puthering out the bottom. Like it's clearly broken. But anyway, whatever. Ratkin Revolt, that sounds like my thing. Right, anyway, so I think I did look at these lists. But so that's your typical... Sorry, I was going through what's in a Bretonnian list. So you have this big unit of Pegasus Knights with a couple of characters in. That does a ton of damage. If you're going Exiles, you're going to have a couple of cannons. If you're going for like a normal host, I don't know really why you would, but then you'll have a Duke instead of a Baron, being like probably the heroism guy. Virtue of the Impetuous Knight gives you D3 extra attacks and hatred everybody, which means your 5 attacks can turn into like 7. So if you've got 7 attacks, like hitting with a lance or a great blade, re-rolling hits at strength 7, that can be really, really nasty, especially if you've got like a buff spell on, because there's a few remains in play spells that you can buff units with that can give it +1 strength, I believe. So you can get him up to strength 8, AP2 / with Armor Bane 1. Really, really super effective. So, yeah, that's cool. New Zealand. Dunedin, yeah. But I'm pretty sure... I'll just check the Demons list, because I will remember that. Bloodthirster, Bloodletters, Blood Crushers, and some Flamers with a level 2 wizard in. And a Herald of Tzeentch with a level 3 wizard in. Interesting. I have no idea how that works on the table. Absolutely no idea. Huh. No, not a clue. Not a clue. Other than just run forwards and hope for the best. But I guess you can't really get that far in a tournament with that kind of strategy. So anyway, right. So we have CanutCon. 2025. Morton managed to win it. Eric Davison came second with Rourke. Oh, Davison to be like Son of Dwarf maybe, and Daniel Olsen with Empire of Man coming in third. Quite a small tournament, so I don't think we really need to go through all of it. We'll have a quick look at Morton's list. 69 horny models gone wild. I'm glad I did look at his list. That's great. So we've got a Beast Lord in a chariot with a black maul, which is like strength loads, plenty of AP, pretty nasty. Full plate Chaos Armor, which gives him a 5 up ward, and he doesn't need the 4 up save because the Chariot gives him a 4. Well, actually, no, he does need the 4 up save because the shield will increase the save to 3 up because you take the best save. So he'll take his 4 up full plate. The mouse is broken again, plus shield and a potion of full hardiness, which is that stubborn for a turn? I can't remember. Couple of Bray Shamans, one with a Hag Tree Fetish. That one's just got primal magic. Hag Tree Fetish, I mean, you normally... I mean, I guess with the Demonology spell... So Hag Tree Fetish allows you to reroll wounds, so 2d6 Strength 4, AP1. You've got that as a choice, and that's pretty good for taking out an army with, like Empire, for instance, with, like, loads of low toughness, low armor save. Oh, lovely tea. And it gives you an option, I guess, because the other option is 5d6 strength 2 attacks with no armor save. So if you're up against something with heavy armor saves, then that's probably better. So it gives you a bit of options with your magic missiles. And, you know, who knows? You might roll a really good spell from Demonology. But if not, it doesn't matter because you've got 2 decent signature spells that you can pick between. So that's very clever. We've then got a Great Bray Shaman with Gnarled Hide, which is... can't remember. And then we've got Slug Skin, which also can't remember what that does. Off the top of my head, it won't take me long to find out. Where is my Beastmen list? Oh, I haven't written a Beastmen list on my phone. That's interesting. I shall do that tonight. I need to sort this out so I can easily access all the rules, really, don't I? Right, what have we got? We've got a Great Bray Shaman, and we've gone for Gnarled Hide and Slug Skin. They're both... oh, yeah, and because it's Wild Herd, you get an extra 25 points of magic items and of mutations, which is fantastic. So you get 75 points of mutations, which means you can... Slug Skin is 50 points, so every other Beastman list can't take that with other things. -1 to hit in combat, that's right. Gnarled Hide. I thought it was -1 to hit, but I didn't want to... Again, I don't usually... Gnarled Hide, he's got Armoured Hide 1. So he's -1 to hit in combat. He's got Armoured Hide 1. He's got full plate Chaos Armor, which you can wear as a wizard and still cast spells because it's got the Chaos Armor rule. So he has basically another chariot. Is it a chariot? No, he's not in the chariot. Okay, cool. So he's got a 3-up save and can still cast spells. Level 3 wizard with... no, 2-up save. Is it? No, sorry, it's 3-up, isn't it? So -1 to hit in combat, 3-up save. Lore Familiar allows him to pick his spells from Demonology. Does mean he can't take any signature spells, so I hope they remember that FAQ. Lore Familiar stops you from taking signatures, but it does allow you to pick from the lore, which in some circumstances you really want, but in others you don't. Demonology, I think, is one of those lores where you can probably justify it because it does have some really good spells that are like part of the basic spell roster. You know, if you don't know, you've got Steed of Shadows, which gives a unit of infantry fly 12, which is fantastic, really fast, especially if they can do marching column, because that means you get essentially to move 36 inches. You can then also combine that with Vigor, that's it, which gives you +1 movement and toughness, which gives you, therefore, +1 movement, gives you fly 13. So if you're in marching column, that's 39 inches of fly move, which is insane. And I don't know why that hasn't been errated. I think that's a bit busted, but whatever. I don't think you should be able to fly in marching column. There we go. Problem solved. I don't think 26-inch fly is too far, given it's a combination of 2 spells that gets you there. You know, that's not amazingly reliable. One's cast on a 9, and the other is, I don't want it that big, is cast on an 8. So they're not that challenging, I guess. Oh yes, Chalice of Dark Rain. What the hell does that do? It's ages since I've read the Beastmen thing. This is why I like building lists, because it constantly refreshes me as to what the rules are. But the range of all enemy missile weapons is halved, and enemy war machines cannot shoot until your next... So during the command sub-phase, you can basically turn off enemy war machines for their next turn, which could be absolutely mega in some circumstances, especially if you've got like Cathay, for instance, with their 3 cannons and 4 balloons. You know, the Cathay are probably going to go first against Beastmen because they're probably going to drop first. I mean, they only get +1 to go first, so it's not guaranteed. But still, you know, they've got a decent chance of that, and then you can essentially turn off their entire shooting pretty much. I mean, I know the balloons have therefore got a range of 18, but it's halved range, so you know they're probably firing at long range, even if they, so that, you know, that you can sort of negate their ballistic skill a little bit. So actually that's a really good pick. Actually, I really like that as a rule set. That's very, very good. Not sure about the lore familiar, but again, there's a case for it. You got a Wargore with a Battle Standard Bearer, heavy Chaos Armor. Personally, I think one of the things that they broke when they did Beastmen is this Chaos Armor stuff, allowing them to like take that and cast spells and stuff. It's like it gives them, I think, a bit too much protection, and it doesn't feel very like, you know, I don't even think Beastmen had that. I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't play any 8th Ed, but I'm not even sure they had that benefit in 8th Ed. But anyway, we've got a Primal War Herd, which you can only get in the Wild Herd, and I think it's great, because basically what the Primal War Herd allows you to do is take these things Gauls to fight in combat, and these things Ungauls to die to shooting. So essentially you just kill off all your Ungauls before you get into combat, and Ungauls, it basically means that we've got a unit of 30, we've effectively got a unit of 33 Gauls, but some of them are half price for no reason. So it's such a good unit for that reason. We've got 3 Razor Gauls, which is pretty standard. They're little single, like tiny base, like 30 by 60 I think bases. They've got a decent range. I think they've got Swift Stride. They do impact hits, not very many, but they're really good at like nipping through armies and taking out or threatening single characters, meaning that, you know, your opponent's got to like maneuver as single characters and faff around a bit. They're very good at like threatening war machines, because, you know, they do a decent amount of damage. You know, and I think they are core, so the 50 points each. I'll tell you exactly what they do. They got movement 7. They do have Swift Stride. Yeah. They've got weapon skill 3. They've got 3 wounds, 4 attacks, which is pretty decent. Strength 5, toughness 5. They've only got light armor, but they do D3 impact hits, and they do have Foe Render, which means while they're subject to Primal Fury, so at the start of when the combat is selected, you take a leadership test for all your Beastmen units in that combat, separately if there's multiple units, and if you pass, you get to re-roll 1s to hit, I think. Re-roll 1s to hit. With this unit as well, if you do that, not only do you get to re-roll 1s to hit, you also get to improve your weapons by AP2, and of course that includes your impact hits, I think, and your impact, your tusks improve their AP by 1 if you charge. So if you charge, you get basically D3 strength 5 impact hits at AP2, and then you get 4 weapon skill 3 strength 5 attacks at AP3. So they're actually, for 50 points, that's a ton of damage output. Considering their toughness 5 and have 3 wounds, they're not that easy to shoot. Like a small unit of 5 to 10 Empire Archers is 100% dying to these, unless they roll really lucky. But there's just absolutely no way that, you know, given that like bows have got a range of 24, so if the Razor Gore like makes a good 14 inches into that, they're 10 away, they can move 4, take a round shooting, maybe do a wound, you know, and move back a bit, and then they'd be 14, which is still within charge range. So they get in charge, and then the Razor Gore is going to eat them. Alternatively, they stand still. Maybe they get a standard sheet. Maybe they do a wound or 2. You see what I'm saying? 50 points of Razor Gore herd takes out that screen, you know, like 99.9% of the time. Really good value for money. You've then got some Tuskgore Chariot. Again, they're good for counterpunch. They're good for loitering around the Primal War Herd, and if somebody threatens the flank, or indeed is foolish enough to charge the flank, then you can get a load of impact hits on them. He's then got a unit of Ungol herds with short bows, just to do a bit of plinky plink and sit on objectives in the backfield and do a bit of range damage. Perfect for that. He's got some Dragon Ogres who do dish out a lot of damage. They're toughness 4, 4 wounds each, I think. And they've got Armoured Hide 2, so they've actually got a 3-up save. Or is it Armoured Hide 1? Hold on a sec. I think I stink. Right. Toughness 4, 4 wounds, Armoured Hide 2. Yeah, it is Armoured Hide 2. And you can upgrade them to have heavy armour, which he has here. So they've got a 3-up save, toughness 4, 4 wounds. Sorry, I did say toughness 4, 4 wounds, didn't I? My memory, awful. It's probably because I'm thinking about other things. Yeah, toughness 4, 4 wounds. So and they've only got initiative 2, so Great Weapons is a perfect upgrade for them. And then he's got the Herdstone, which is just generally quite good. So that's a really good Wild Herd list. And he's taken a tournament with it. And I'm really not surprised. There's none of the like usual pardon me. There's none of the usual bogeymen sort of lists in there. I think that's probably the most competitive. So yeah, well done, Norton. Decent. Norwegia. I don't know what Norwegian for Norway is. I'm sure I asked that last time and I can't remember. Poland. Nothing in Poland. Mouse is gone again. It's definitely still working. Oh, hold on. Is it? Yeah. Sorry, my cuff. It likes my cuff. I don't know what is going on. It's been absolutely fine for like ever since I got it, but suddenly I need to record a video quickly and I'm buggered. Right, where I'm up to, 50 minutes, and I've got to go in about 20, so I think we're more or less there. Metropolis Centre, Alvaro Crespo, Juan Martinez, and Jesus Alvarez. Don't know whether Z is an S or a th. Sorry, apologies for butchering that, but I do like to try because I am weird, slightly middle class. Not really. I mean, my parents are very working class, and I'm a knobhead who plays rugby, so I'm not sure I am that middle class. But anyway, just because I've got a Middle England accent doesn't mean it just means I work in professional services. That's not really anyway. And therefore used to talking to people like this, so everybody can understand me. I don't even know what my natural accent would be. In fact, I think it is this now because I've spoken like this for so long. But I chose actually. It's weird my accent because I grew up in a place called St Albans. Until I was like 8 or 9. So I basically learned to speak there. I was born in Grantham. Very swiftly, parents moved to St Albans for work because my dad got a job in the city. Working in the Priory Clinic, which, if you know what that is, it's a sort of a celebrity drug rehab hospital. He was in the finance team, so he was like sending invoices to people like Rod Stewart and stuff like that. Not him. Might have been. I can't remember what. We don't talk anymore. But anyway, so I grew up there. I went to quite a nice school. For instance, the dads of the other kids were like BBC, foreign correspondents and stuff like that. Doctors, that kind of thing. So I went to a really nice school, and I learned to speak Queen's English, and then when I came to Lincolnshire, because I don't know why we moved back really, but we did, and was immediately ostracised by the locals, and so I kind of spent about 10 years trying to sound a bit more linky. But failing miserably because I just can't quite get it. And then I just made the conscious decision of I need to sort of communicate in a way that people can understand. And therefore I thought, well, everybody understands this kind of received pronunciation style English, so I might as well do that. So, but because I've been living in Boston for the past like 20, 30 years, there's a bit of linky that kind of slips in every now and again, but Anyway, that's all irrelevant. I don't know why I'm telling you this. So I just think it's funny or interesting how individual experiences kind of lead to the development of like an accent, and I don't sound like where I come from really, which is weird. But again, I have clients all over the place, so if I did sound linky, I'm pretty sure there'd be comms barriers, which I don't really want. So I've decided to sound like this to try and be a bit more, inclusive and a bit less regional, which I think is a bit of a shame sometimes, because I quite like for instance in Boston they say now then mate, so they don't say mate, they say mate, and it's not potato, it's teats, and they don't say cow, they say beast, like all animals are beasts. I actually quite like Lincolnshire accent. It's quite nice. But anyway, so Alvaro Crespo managed to win this. He's won a few tournaments. I think I've seen Martinez and Alvarez on these things before, so well done to those. Il Torneo, in fact, Troll Horde. I do want to look at that Wood Elf list. So let's see. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, this is such a ball ache. Roster. Yes, we've got them. Right. Let's do no, it wasn't Martinez. Alvarez. Let's have a look at this Wood Elf list. So we've got a Glade card, Eternal Kindred. In fact, I'm just going to use my phone because it's easier. I've probably also got 3 million Wood Elf lists on this because have a few drinks in the night, sit in the shed, having a bit of a smoke, and write some lists. That's my evening after I've finished for an hour or so until I feel sleepy and go to bed. Right. We are looking for kindreds. We're looking for Eternal Kindred. I forget what it does. Eternal Kindred gives you reroll ones during the combat phase and any unit they've joined. It's infantry only. So that's actually really smart for the BSB if it's going to go in a big unit. It's probably going to go in that unit of Wildwood Rangers. I don't know. Oh, the wild mouse is sort of working again. So it's probably going to go in that unit of Wildwood Rangers there and give that like reroll ones, the whole thing. And I think the Wildwood Rangers get rerolls for other things as well. So he's gone for like a bit of a combat build, but still, Wood Elves. He needs to get them into like a forest as soon as possible. Really, a forest near an objective and just sit there. That's kind of their job. So if he does that, then it's going to be difficult for the opponent to get into them. You do get to plant a forest, of course, as well. So that's quite good. We've got Great Stag, Mantle of Rebirth, Potion of Toughness, Talisman of Protection. Yeah, all that's. I just love somebody who's taken one of these lists to tell me how they get it to win, because I just can't see it in my head. Like, I just don't understand how Wood Elves win in this current edition. Obviously they do. I've just not been able to piece it together. Cool. Or maybe it's because I play factions that are sort of like the bogeymen to Wood Elves, like Chaos Warriors. Wood Elves always struggle with Chaos Warriors, and always have, really. So, yeah. We've got Il Torneo Ludus Old World. Ludus Game? The Old World Game Tournament. Something like that, presumably. Miguel took it with Vampire Counts, Imad with Orc and Goblin Tribes, and Anton with Chaos Dwarves coming in third. I think we've looked at Alvaro's Troll Horde video list in another video, actually, to be fair. And then we have Sweden. I don't think they had anything on last weekend. There's definitely been stuff in Sweden, so Gomo, look at that. Switzerland, nothing. UK, probably something. You'd have thought, although it is the first day back at school. But no, we'd have had a 1250 here. 4-game tournament last weekend. Singe Frost managed to win it with Ogre Kingdoms. Well done, Singe. Ross Cooper came second with Mortuary Cults, and Joe Duckett with Dwarf and Mountain Holds coming in third, which is really good. So well done to all of those. Although I'm not going to look at the list because it's only 12.50 and that's not going to be very interesting. Well, I'm not interested, so sorry. God, pardon me. Oh, all right, go on then. Ogres, we don't see very often. Let's have a look at them. So we've got Urko the Bruiser, who's on a... sorry, excuse me. Oh, I have, of course, been talking all day, so my voice box is at the end of its tether, and I forgot to run around in a bit and shout at people. Sorry, 2. Urko the Bruiser, 1 character, on a Thunder Tusk. Actually, out of the 2, probably the Thunder Tusk is better at this points level. The Stonehorn is a bit swingy, and you need to be able to pick your target. At 2K games, you're more likely to have something that you want to hit, and basically what you want to hit is a big block of infantry. So you can then smash into it, do a lot of impact hits, then issue a challenge, which means you're immune to reprisal. So you've done a load of impact hits, you then absolutely massacre the unit champion. You know, probably you've got about 9 or 10 combat res at that point, and then they break to the terrifying massive thing in front of them, right? That's kind of what you want to do. But Hogfart's Heroes, some Ogre Bulls, some Noblos, Big Hamish's Mob, good old Hamish, the Bunny Botherers, oh God, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh how's he, Chicken Chasers, oh no, Skinner's Mob, 3 Saber Tusk pack, Urko's Own, and then some Silverbacks, which are another unit of Saber Tusks. These just don't have Vanguard move. Noblars are rubbish, but they're just chaff that sit on the table and get in the way. And actually, like, they're 2 points each. Like, you know, who cares if they die? Then he's got some Saber Tusks, which can be quite good. Mornfang Cav, I think, are by far and away the best thing in the Ogre book. And then he's got an Iron Blaster Boomer with a Cannon of the Sky Titans. I really like this, actually. I think it's a really good rule set. And I think if you... It's difficult to conceptualize, but I think if you think of it as a heavy chariot with a cannon on, I think you get best value there. So it kind of trundles up alongside your force, occasionally fires a cannon. At some point, the cannon will blow up and you won't be able to use it again, but then it is a really hard-hitting, like almost super heavy chariot. So it does both jobs really well, but you've got to make sure you keep it up with the rest of your army, so it gets the opportunity to get at least if not multiple charges off. And ideally, actually, you want it hitting the unit that your Lord on Thunder Tusk is also hitting. So tons and tons of really impactful impact hits. Of course, and yeah, so that's for flipping. It's definitely on. Like I can see the light. Why is it? And we also had Old World Skirmish September 2K points at Darkfire Cafe, which Darkfire Cafe I believe is a cool cafe in London. It's not got that many tables, but still. They've managed to do a 2K tournament. So well done to Richard Halin, Luke Reeves and Matt Sinclair for taking that one out. I'm not going to go through this because this mouse is really winding me up now. And I can't be bothered with trying to click on things. I know it sounds really... Oh no, there's 2 more with... oh God. With interesting lists in. No. Oh no, there's more. Oh no. Oh no, there's loads more. Oh, God, and Facehammer was last weekend as well. Oh, do you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to do... Oh, my God, and Skaven won a 5-game tournament. What the... Stop the press. Right, I am going to do all this and the meta later. Actually, I'm going to do a separate video on this. Apologies if you've got that this far and I'm leaving you hanging, but I need to get a new mouse and I don't want to go through all of that again. It's been painful enough, but there's so much that happened. That was definitely last weekend, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the 6th and 7th, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Was it? It was, wasn't it? I don't know. Right. Well, and I have certainly, ugh, stop getting distracted. Yeah, it was. It was last weekend. I've certainly missed all of these talks. There's absolutely tons happened last weekend in the UK. So I need to address that, I think, separately. I'll do a separate Meta and UK video. But anyway, thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful and vaguely enjoyable whilst you do a bit of hobbying. Like I said, there is more to come. So if you're this far into the video, you probably should subscribe if you haven't already. If you are this far in, I'd really appreciate a like. I don't know what it does, but I hear they're good. If you have, of course, I mean, if you thought it was awful, then don't. I hear thumbs down are actually bad. I don't know. I hear a lot about what liking and metrics and stuff like affects your videos and your channel performance and stuff. I don't know whether any of it's true because YouTube are rubbish at explaining how the thing works. So I'm just going to keep putting videos out and hoping for the best. But anyway, I hope this has been useful, and I shall see you again very soon, because do I have any time tomorrow to record a video? If I get up early, if I remember to get up early, I can do that tomorrow morning. But anyway, I shall leave this one here, and part 2 will arrive tomorrow. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, wherever you are in the world and wherever you are in your day. And I'll see you again soon, hopefully. Toodle pip.